Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for Wonder Egg Priority, Webisode 7. Hey, I was able to say that without cringing. That's kind of nice. I'm not sure that that's a good thing. I think that's maybe a bad thing. In any case, last week we watched Episode 6, and it was strikingly well-timed and really solidly directed. Although there are some things in the episode that I still really fully don't understand, particularly the final eye running through the rain sequence, which seemed really, really important and super impactful, and I'm just not sure what it meant. She's going back to school, I guess, but what did it mean? I don't know. Regardless of that one scene, episode 6 strikes me as a really interesting exploration of a lot of concepts surrounding ideas that are hard to put into words, but ideas that I would put into words, and I tried to write these out before getting into this, but belief in the unseen, the denial of someone else's reality, an exploration to an extent of gaslighting and this feeling of like, oh, everything is well, when you feel on the inside that it's absolutely not. And all of this sort of brought to the forefront by one of the major egg girls that we see in the episode, whose name has fully escaped me, but I think of her as Budget Shirabe. Fuck. I'm so sorry. No, but I fully don't remember her name. And her dealing with what may have been seeing real terrible things in the real world and may have been schizophrenia. We just don't know. Regardless, there were a lot of topics, a lot of things in the episode that circled around this topic of believing other people and taking other people at their word when they feel like something is wrong in the world or wrong in their lives. And now that it's been a week since we watched it, I can't help but think of that episode in context of the episode of Mushishi that we watched yesterday. And there's this scene in the episode of Mushishi that we watched yesterday where this little boy and his mother are walking through the woods, and he looks up and he genuinely sees, and we as viewers know that he is actually seeing something that's really there. He sees these weird ethereal mushi, these weird bug things that are spirits. And his mom tells him they're not real. Just be okay. I need you to be okay right now. Let's keep walking. And he's like fucked up by it. And something about that scene with then rethinking about this episode put me into this weird state where this morning I've been thinking a lot about the nature of reality and the nature of the way that individual perspective shapes reality and the inherent difficulty in relating to other people when you have different perspectives on the reality that you both experience. In the exact same way that the mother in that scene can look up in the trees and see nothing there, and the boy can look up and see Mushi there, a person in the real world can look at someone and see a danger, see a predator, see a problem, and someone else can look at them and see my uncle, who's a nice guy who takes care of cats. Obviously, I'm talking about I and Momo. Or, it's hard to get away from Sawaki Sensei because there's a lot of Sawaki Sensei stuff in episode 6, but that idea of being unable to express your own reality to other people because they just take reality at their own face value is really interesting to me, and is kind of a difficult concept to grapple with, and I'm not sure that Wonder Egg Priority grappled with it in a really, really excellent way, but it did bring up a bunch of thoughts and feelings and emotions in me about that kind of concept, and that's kind of interesting, and I wanted to share it with you. Regardless, let's go rather quickly through some of the other like check boxes from episode 6. So we had some haters, which are like next level see no evils that actually get to the point where they're like, yeah, fuck you, and mostly are doing that because our Wonder Girls are stepping up and being heroes in these ethereal worlds or whatever they are, and so people are looking at them and going, hey, stay in your lane. Stop helping other people. Stop standing up for what you believe is right. You're making us all look bad. There is this exploration of sort of gaslighty concepts that I'm not sure how we're going to flesh that out more. It feels like it needs to be fleshed out more. We'll see if it is. I assume it will be because the whole tension around Sawaki is like the central tension of Ai's journey. So we will see. Fantastic use of color throughout the episode, creating a gray day with beads of light in it, and then the eventual rush through the rainstorm. We get some weird-ass little amulet presents from Akka and Ura Akka, which turn into fucking reptilian super henchmen homies. I don't know what to call them. They're they're cool. Sawaki and mom want to start dating, and that is really fucking awkward. I assume that Ai's like, I run after Sawaki and go, I'm going back to school, we're meant to take that as some sort of, okay, this is fine. But it's not fine. It's not okay. Momoe fully cannot believe that Sawaki is any sort of problem. He's her beloved uncle, and there's no way that he could ever be a problem. Rika mentions some interesting things that I hope we dive into more about why she thinks that Ai is afraid of Sawaki and her mom getting together. Um, like I think it's because I thinks that Sawaki did something to Koito, and Rika thinks that it's because Ai is afraid that Sawaki will come into her house and be an abusive, like sexually and physically abusive boyfriend, but like to her. And that's a really interesting thing for Rika to snap into, because it indicates her own experience of reality and her own sorts of fears and the kinds of things, the kind of world that she lives in. Again, playing into that idea of perspective shaping everything. We get a set of ideas around I loving Sawaki, perhaps, and she denies them really fervently, like methinks the lady doth protesteth too much fervently, but maybe it's kind of confusing. I mean, there is this very clearly cut scene where we see Sawaki in like a dress shirt standing in the ocean looking all suave and shit. So I guess that's an indicator that I maybe does think of him in that way, but is like really repressing that shit. But I don't know. And then we get our run through the rainstorm and our willingness to return to school. Very interesting episode with a lot of ideas that we can talk about and that are very interesting to talk about. But I don't know that the episode that we just watched really says anything about those ideas. And that's totally fine because it's right smack dab in the middle of a show. It's episode 6 of 12 or 13. And like, it doesn't need to come to conclusions immediately. It can set these ideas out so that they're functioning and floating around in the back of our minds. And so when they come up again and again, we can actually glean some interesting ideas from them or some conclusions about them. We'll see if we manage to do that over the course of the next few episodes of Wonder Egg Priority. That's going to be one of the big questions on my mind is, can we make something out of those really fantastic concepts around personal perspective and the way that people shape other people's perspectives on the reality that they experience? Yeah, that was episode 6. Now we're going to watch episode 7. I have no idea what to expect. I guess maybe I goes back to school and we see some, like, what is school like in the aftermath of Koito? That could be really, really heartbreaking and really terrifying, because what I imagine is that school life just goes on and other people have not been impacted by this loss of Koito in the same way that I has. But we'll see if that's the focus of this episode. It could be fucking anything else. We could go and get more Neru stuff, although we had some solid Neru stuff. We could actually follow Momoe as she starts to like wonder about her uncle because she wants to hard deny those ideas as well, and maybe they start to sink in and maybe we get some stuff in that realm. I don't really know. I think the only thing we can do at this point is to watch the episode of Wonder Egg Priority and see what happens next. So that's what we're going to do. I've got episode 7 of WEP, or Wepisode 7, up and ready to go. It's sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions, picture-in-picture, in the description, timer on YouTube, and if you want next week's a little bit early, you can get that on Patreon, also in the description. Beep beep timer. Where are we? We're in Rika's room. Oh, it's her birthday. Oh no. Happy birthday. Try on makeup and don't feel good. Oh no. School uniform. I love this. Snap, 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 snap. And Rika is until there. Macho. Oh. Oh. Wake up. Oh. I wanna pause and take a breather. I'm not going to. Ooh, this is not good. Okay. We haven't had much in the way of like parent-child relationships except for I's mom, and I's mom seems great. Just like not a great listener for certain things. Everything about that opening sequence. We're gonna have to like go through that. The moment where she's like surprised that her mom remembers that it's her birthday, and then the way that shifts into just heartbreak as she hands her money and is like, "Do whatever the fuck you want, bitch. Get the fuck out of here." Ah. Oh, they don't know how to relate to each other. Not at all. They hate. Oh no. This is gonna hurt. Why does it have to be so transactional? But this tracks. Everything about it tracks with everything we've seen of Rika. Of course her mom is like that. And she's well on her way to becoming a carbon copy. Fuck. I want more, but I know it's gonna hurt. I don't know what to do now. All right. High 3. Talking about their... Oh, fucking shit. Putting the face on. Now, all of this is colored with that. And the obviousness of how hard she's trying is suddenly there. Oh, so we have skipped going to school. Hell yeah. Okay, that was super great. Oh, please don't do that. Kind of. Hi. Yes. Ha 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 ha. Not gonna happen. Nope, you keep that shit way close to the chest. Okay. Oh, shit. Not like that. Oh, no. Who could say? Obviously. Right. You're just hoping. So she's not keeping the promise. Fuck. Is Rika working at a bar? No, she just looks like it. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. Great. Thanks, drunkard. The part that she is your mother? It is. Is that why people don't do things for those reasons? I mean, that might be true, but people don't do the things for those. Is that a Fit Fat? Fucking great name for a candy bar. Holy shit. I'm starting a candy bar company and I'm making Fit Fats, baby. They're protein chocolates. Okay, this is horrifying. I'm sorry for the little interlude of joking, but yeah, there we go. There's our horrifying. Sure. True. Sounds like you a little bit. Pride in what? Yeah. I haven't seen that. Fuck. Neru cuts to the heart of it. And it shatters. Yep, you come to us and request help, we try to give it, and you shatter. So fragile, such a fragile shell. Gonna sleep here? Absolutely gross. Aye. What a shot. Of course. Aww. Oh, fuck. Maybe not the best use of time. Yeah. Don't force it, says the forcer. Oh, that's true. Out of all of them, both of us have single moms. Yeah, no, that we walk a similar road in a weird way. Majime Vajon. That'll happen. Yes, you will if you stay on this path. Friends helps, though. Swing and a miss. It was. That's a word. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the... Where's the timestamp on that? That's not true, Naru. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's up with that? I figured. Oh, no, just a different set of trouble. So you do own a bar. Okay. Huh. I'm really wondering about that. That's the issue. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, he said that, right? Yeah, he left you with a horrifying ideal. Is that a good thing? Well, I assume this episode is gonna make that happen. Okay, let's put the face back on. Oh my god. Rika, 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 Rika! Okay. Painter? What? I'm sorry, what? Wow, the people at the bar remember. Great. Bye. This is her life. What are you fiddling with? What are you fiddling with, Rika? No. Rika, you promised. You promised. Trying to get him to return so that she doesn't have his eyes on her. She believes in her teacher, huh? Fuck. Great. Wait. Yorokobe Shonen? Are those fucking needles shooting darts or some shit? Her arm is bandaged. I can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. True believer. Tithe everything you have to the sensei. Yep. Release it all. Yes. No, 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 no. It's hard for a reason. What framing? All a game, huh? Euthanasia. Rika, 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 Rika. Don't. Oh, let's not. Oh, let's not. Can we not? No, friends are nice. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. It fully is exactly like her. That's the problem. This isn't salvation. It's just giving up. Of course you do. You mean rape? Let's not. You're his mom. You can't just give up. No, but it's less. There. Thank you. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's it. That's it. Okay, we'll take that as the revelation. Sick. Ah, yoo-hoo! Sick. False hope taken away. Yes. Yeah? No. Accept weakness. Yeah, but stop hurting yourself, though. There we go. All right, can we talk about Aka and Urahaka? Fully just be like, oh, I guess we're losing one. Oh, well. Neru, who has the hardest time connecting with her. Aww. Aww. That might as well be I love you. Aww. And for the first time in the episode, that feels genuine. Hmm. I'm gonna just sit on the floor for a bit. Okay. Alright. Okay. Ah. Uh. Okay. I'm gonna get up. The happy friendship plan. Well, that sounds fucking sinister. I don't know why, but those set of words altogether really scares me. Makes me think we're gonna get some more Aka and Ura Aka stuff. Okay. Wow. Wow. There's way too much in this episode, man. This one is rough. And I don't mean like roughly produced or anything like that. I mean this one is emotionally rough. Just the opening scene is enough to be utterly killer. And we've talked about this a few times in this show. You open on something and it sets the tone for the entirety of the rest of the episode. And this show just keeps nailing those. And this one is another example of absolutely nailing that. Let me skip past the Funimation thing. Okay. So we open with this, how do I put it? This from above camera angle is it's wrong, it's inhuman, it's disconnected, and it demonstrates to us very clearly that this room is empty. It also demonstrates a particular like style, muted colors, and then we cut into the phone, and it's like a phone auto notification that's like, hey, happy birthday, you've registered that this is your birthday. You know, you get emails from some companies that know what your birthday is. They're like, happy birthday. You get an email from your dentist's office, oh, happy birthday, be sure to come in for an appointment. And that, if you don't have parents or friends or other people who know that when your birthday is, that's all you get. I know that feeling quite well. Quite well. So only mechanical technology acknowledges your existence and your aging and your life. And we tie into that all of Rika's struggles and fears about age and looks and external appearance and all of those things, which we know already are tied in with her mother. And so the setup is just there. Fuckity fuck. Fuckity fuck. I just want to curse at the world for a minute here. I'm not going to, but God, my my university that I went to had this thing during finals week called Primal Scream, where everybody was allowed / supposed to go out into the big like field in the middle of our school and just fucking yell. like 3, 2, 1, everybody scream, and it was just that, and I feel like doing that. I want to go to the rooftop and just this episode sucks, but not like it's bad, but like it sucks to experience. So with nobody there and nothing to do, Rika tries on makeup, puts on like a womanly shade of red, if I were to call it anything, like dark red makeup, which is very similar to the makeup that we see her mother wearing in all of her photos and in her existence and blah, blah, blah. She puts it on and then rejects it and smears it off. I'm just going to mention, there's no line color around her pink strands of hair, which is really interesting compared to her other strands, which do have colored line art. That's kind of weird. It's kind of cool. But schmear, reject, and almost smiles. Okay. I actually really love the like line conversations that they have and the way that it snaps us through the entire group cast to show them all sort of like genuinely being friends and having a network together. It's kind of one and then another. We see technology as a reminder of how alone you are, and then technology as something which genuinely connects you to other people in a really much more beautiful and much more interesting way. And as we see all of them going through their days. But it's here. I'll bring my phone, be in touch, and Rika hits us with the first thing and sees them being read by everybody else and gets that feeling of connection. Steals a line emoji or whatever they're called. Your skirt is short, being cute, whatever. Okay. Snap back to reality. Just fucking disdain. Something about pouring the leftover drink from last night into the ashtray, and then instead of waking her up, just passive aggressively smashing the glass down, dink, so that she wakes. Instantly hurts. It instantly hurts, and then it gets worse. 1 second. Roommate was locked out. Okay, so casual disdain leads into, I mean, even the way she turns around without looking at her. They nail so much like passive aggressive and angry body language over the course of this episode that it fucking blows my mind. And then the facade as well, and seeing how fragile it is. Fuck. Okay. Rika, wait. Happy birthday. As she starts to go for her purse. It's your birthday. She doesn't say happy birthday. She says it is your birthday. I think, right? Yeah, today is your birthday, not Tanjobi omedetou or whatever. And we see this little flash of like, oh shit, she actually recognizes maybe something, maybe some kind of connection here. Here, have a few thousand yen note. 5,000 yen. Buy something you like. She shoves it back at her. Keep your promise. Tell me about my father. We don't get to know. Because Rika doesn't get to know. He abandoned us. Do you really want to see him? And she always has the snap back. He abandoned you. And really, truly, I feel for her mother in this moment. Why do you have to put it that way? Why does everything have to be a fight like this? Because it has been. It just keeps being. Why are you as my mother unable to have a genuine relationship with me? Why is everything so transactional for you? Why are you broken? Rika hates her mother for her brokenness. But she is a broken woman. We see that. Weakness, huh? You won't understand this yet. And she pushes her away. You reek. Bitch. And we don't see more of the interaction. So, we see the three of them talking, chatting, being friendly, being human, having friends, being alive. And we see Rika in her true normal, because the normal that we've seen for Rika is bubbly, overbearing, demanding, expecting people to do things for her, and it's all an act, every part of it. I mean, some of it's innate and real, and there's a reason that the act is the way that the act is, but it's all an act. Rika really is just a person, right? Like everybody. And what we see in this moment is we see the facade go on. We see the face go on. And it's far worse and more insidious than like wearing makeup and putting on that kind of a false face. Rika puts on a personality false face. It's how she interacts with people, you know? Yo, what's up? Happy birthdays. Thanks. Everything's great. And we have it. Her voice actress does a fantastic job as well. Sanksu, right? Like instantly bubbly and fine. You ever have a fight with your parents right before you go to school? Because I have a lot. Lot of difficult encounters, like on the way to school, especially in the car with both my parents. Really, really bad. You don't take that with you. You put on a false face. You walk in the door and turn into somebody else. Because the person that you are there and the person that you are here can't be the same person, or you just fall apart. It doesn't work. So you falsify and you lie. But it's not like everything's fine. You just act. Not even consciously. You just become someone else. This really hurts. I'm gonna need a minute. Woof. I realized beating myself up at home wouldn't solve anything. Well then. And everything's a joke. Beating yourself, haha, kinky. Trying desperately to elevate the mood, right? Trying way too hard. And we see it in sharp contrast now, right? We also start to see the bars of the windows, which are going to become really apparent soon. So we talk about school. Was it all right? Weren't you bullied? Everyone seemed cautious with me, but it's fine. And it's fine because there are friends at school. I will also just say, outside of the deep analysis of this episode, that shit, super cute. Also, Neru not getting it, not like clicking with that in the same way, is also really cute in its own way. And feeds into Neru's own insecurities with like having friends and having relationships. Part of what often happens to people who don't have families in that way, and I guess Neru's a really extreme case because she's had like support systems because of the money that she's obviously been left. Like she's had people take care of her, but they've always been standoffish. Is this inability to quite interact? This it's sort of a lack of socialization. But she does say this, which is cute. All right, Rika there. And Rika positions herself so that all future framing will be Rika against bars of the windows, which is not a little bit interesting. It's more than a little bit interesting. Also, full lie. Will not happen. Absolutely not. Not a chance. Zero. Rika does not share. Not unless she has to. Gonna make you listen to me grumble. And she doesn't. Like, she brings this shit out. But this is not the problem that she has. This is the desire that she has to meet her father. And it's interesting, and it's great that she's revealing this and explaining it. But she makes such a joke out of it. Something about eyebrows, even I don't know the answer. I'm not even sure he's one of these guys. I made a promise with this woman. She does say Ana Ona, right? Konona. When I got into middle school, I could meet my dad. And we see her, I guess, working at the bar. Because she does seem to be in uniform. Pretty sure it's one of these guys. I mean, it's this guy, right? If it's one of the guys in the photos, it's this guy because of the scene that we see of him speaking. Almost certainly. But it doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't. Okay, don't make that face. You're my genuine daughter. I gave birth to you. That part I know for sure. And this, like, should almost be comforting, right? And I think Rika's mom thinks that it's comforting, right? You don't have to worry about who your dad is. You know who your mom is. Here's the problem. She fucking hates her mom. And so the next frame that we get is Rika in a cage because there's no doubt about me being her genuine daughter. No doubt about where at least half of my blood is from. The other half is from some random guy. I don't know him. But definitely her daughter. Definitely trapped by that. Bars, cage. Also squash Rika into a corner. Perfect. That's the part that pisses me off the most, of course. And this, like, Rika tries to make a joke of it, and I picks up on it and goes, yo, that's not okay. That's terrible. Right? Oh my God, so awful. But that moment of connection, she skims past it. It's like, no, that's we're not doing that. She can't stand the idea of me meeting father and getting along with him. So here's the deal. Here's the issue here. People don't act like that. I guess they do. People do act like this. People act in all sorts of ways for all sorts of reasons, rational and irrational. That's not why she's preventing you from meeting your father. She's not afraid that you're going to get along with your father and you'll be taken away from her. That's not why. There's some other reason here. Either it is, as she says, and she doesn't know who he was. But then how would you have heard his words at any point in your life? I don't know. My guess, and this is just a guess, is, and I don't mean to do this in a way that makes Rika's mom out to be a hero or something like that, because I don't think that she is. My guess is that Rika's father is not a very good guy, and Rika's mom has decided to raise her on her own because he's not a very good guy and is trying to keep her away from him and him away from her. It's a guess. There's nothing that fully, like, really strongly indicates that in any direction, but that's what feels right to me, and I don't know. I don't know. But that's the feeling that I get. She'd never allow me to be happy. She's a tragic heroine with a persecution complex. All of these things are like one-sided perspective-based justifications and rationalizations of somebody else's behavior that aren't grounded in any reality, which is why I'm suspicious of them. These are what Rika has come up with as the reasons that she's being kept from her obviously awesome, heroic, super great dad who did abandon them. But, you know, abandoned her mom because her dad, like, saw through her mom and saw that she was a vindictive bitch, and so left her with the vindictive bitch mom, right? Dad's the real hero. He'll come back one day and save me. It'll be great. She'd never allow me to be happy. People don't do that. At least in my experience. Vindictiveness is rare. It's more rare than you think, and like people making life decisions to hurt their children doesn't happen that often. Now, teenagers thinking that their parents are doing everything in their power to hurt the teenager totally happens all the time. Usually not the case. But it could be. It definitely could be, right? And she makes more of a joke about it, but she's saying some serious shit. There's nothing jokey about any of this. Stop. Shouldn't insult your mom so much. And then it's about sides. What, aren't you on my side? Yes, of course. That's not what. So everybody kind of shuts up and is like, processing, not sure what to say. Except Neru, who looks around, gauges the atmosphere. I don't want to trash talk my mom either. She's nothing like your mom. She throws a fit when things don't go her way, and all she tells me are half-ass lies. The ability of Rika to joke about this disappears. She just starts spilling, right? Never told me she's sorry for anything. She's still saying it in a joking way, though. But the only thing she has is her damn pride. The pride that she should have been happier even though it's her own fault. And she hates me too. So Rika's got this thing where she thinks her mom blames her for blah, 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 blah. And we don't know. Maybe so. Maybe so. And it's horrible. Momo wants to see the goodness in her, and in Rika's mom assumes that she probably has her reasons. I also would assume that she has reasons. Again, I think that while people are not necessarily rational actors, and people will do things like become an alcoholic and destroy themselves physically and mentally over the course of their lives, especially after romantic badness and like having a child and struggling, people will totally do irrational and terrible things to themselves and to others around them. But I do believe that people mostly do things for reasons. So I feel Momo here. Do you hate her as well? Is what Naru asks. Blunt, straight to the point. Isn't that what they call codependence? Yup. And then if you don't make a clean break, nothing will. Like, this is hyperlogical advice, right? But it's not useful advice. It might be utterly true, and she might be completely right. I fully agree in many ways that sometimes what Neru is saying is absolutely necessary. Those who know my history know that I do fully agree. And that's one way of looking at things, but there are problems with that sort of an outlook as well, and there are regrets that happen after that kind of a choice as well. But Rika explodes. Don't try to lecture me. Goody two shoes. And it all just snaps. The character animation is great. Wham. Moio. And out she goes. And out she treads. From one set of bars and cages to another. The backgrounds, right? From gross to gross, gross inside to gross outside. I love this shot. Because of the way the light is coming down. Even the little purple thing in the far right corner. And the positioning of I and the positioning of Rika. I really like this shot. Not because of any like specific composition rules or anything like that, but it's real good. It's real good. It makes me feel something. And so does the I figured you'd chase after me. I'd figured you'd want me to, because I is the one who is most connected to Rika. I've got complaints about my mom too. And we find this ability to connect to each other, both having single moms, both having like worries and fears and like not loving their moms at the moment quite the way that they feel like they should. Rika goes to serious Rika. We get this sort of barzy, sort of imprisoning space again. I just remembered all the bad things at once. Been wondering if I'll end up like her someday. Yeah, that's a worry. It's a really powerful worry. So she lets out a bunch of her tension. Don't they get married and bang because they like it? What the fuck? Why don't I get this shit? Just don't understand. Did you leave already? Sorry for earlier. Are you feeling okay? Just single texting Rika and not getting it. We get Neru's reflection on this, which is her own feeling of not being, quote, cut out for female society. I don't feel like I fit in, which again ties into some of the stuff that we learned about her, but is also a part of what makes Neru really great. And she, like, I would be totally friends with Neru. She seems super cool. What I think is logical and correct. But I don't know what it's like to worry about parents. I can't connect to that. this moment hurts as well. It seems as if not having parents spared me a lot of trouble. And there's this inherent sense in the way that she's saying this and what she just expressed as a fear, like I don't feel like I fit into society and all of these other things. They're like, no, Naru, you just got a whole different bag of trouble. And I think this is something interesting about life and about life, the universe, and everything, which is pretty much everybody suffers. In fact, I think everybody suffers. Suffering is ultimately universal, and not just in the more ethereal sort of Buddhist sense that's like we all live, we all die, we all suffer. But I think that suffering, truly hurting, as part of relationships to other people or lack of relationships to other people, as part of choosing to do things or not choosing to do things. I think the general level of suffering that we as individuals generally experience is usually about the same. And it's impossible to quantify it, and it always will be, for the same reason that we talked about in the very intro of this episode, which is that we can't understand each other's perspectives on things, and thus we cannot understand each other's perspectives on suffering. The only thing that we can do is say, I suffer, and when I suffer, it hurts me. So when other people say that they are suffering, or it seems like they are suffering, I just have to assume that they are in pain as well, and that their pain is just as poignant and just as serious as my pain, and I have to understand that. I think that's the root of compassion, and it's also the root of, I don't know, basic moral philosophy, is understanding that other creatures and other entities suffer as you do. The fact that you can comprehend your own pain means you should be able to comprehend the pain of others. And the issue there is that people often try to, like, not only comprehend the pain of others, but compare pain and be like, oh, because of X, Y, and Z that are true in my life, like I have parents, I have blah, 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 I guess I have been spared certain levels of suffering. And that is true, but you have traded them almost certainly for different kinds of suffering. And I think that there are relatively few instances of things that lead to a drastically different level of suffering. Really good parents can be one that dramatically changes the amount of suffering that a child experiences in their life. And having bad parents, having no parents, having a bad relationship with your parents, it's all fucking gravy, man. It's all bad. Okay, so looking out through bars in a cage, the smallest one of all those lights is probably our bar. Talk about your dad, see him once a month, still your dad even if your parents broke up, clinging to the inside of this bar, looking outward. And we get the truth of it, which is that Rika fantasizes about her father. There's this amazing scene in season 2, sophomore year of Dimension 20 Fantasy High. I know that this is fucking crazy thing to bring up. I don't know why, but it is the perfect scene for this. It's not even in season 2, it's in season 1. And what happens is there's a character who's been looking for her dad. She finds out that the husband of her mother is not her father, because she sprouts fucking devil horns because she's a goddamned she's a tiefling. And it turns out that her dad is this like giant demon from hell, or giant devil from hell. And she eventually is able to meet him, and he gives her this speech that's like, listen, you've been putting, for all of your years, you've been dreaming about who I am and how much better your life would be if I were there and how great I am. And all you've been seeing from your mother are all of her failures. And you've been giving a lot more credit to me because I'm not there to fail in front of you. And I think that maybe your mother deserves a little bit more respect. And it's a really fascinating scene, because the way that Brennan weaves his characters is creating them out of like philosophical and psychological ideas and constructing people with struggles and issues and problems in a really powerful way. And that conversation feels like this. I fantasize about mine. I dream of him. And of course, in my dreams, he's the best, right? He's a real loving dad who doesn't treat me like shit and actually cares and remembers my birthday and doesn't make birthdays transactional and knows how to express affection and love without just handing me money and doesn't get drunk every damn night and isn't gone, right? But the fact is that he is gone and he hasn't been around and he hasn't come back looking for you as far as you know. So maybe those fantasies aren't warranted. And maybe the woman who's been there and seems to be failing, but is trying, maybe deserves a little bit of respect. Yeah, we do get this shot of him. Yeah, it's most definitely that guy with the glasses, because he's got glasses. And it's crazy because his gentle voice is all I remember. But then the thing that she remembers him saying is a deeply twisted ideology, right? A beautiful woman shouldn't have to carry a wallet. There are so many things to unpack there. Like, it's deeply transactional. It's focused particularly and specifically on physical beauty and the way that physical beauty allows you to move through the world. It tells her that effectively that beauty is everything in your life and you're worthless without it. It's not good. It's not good. But she idolizes it, right? Because it's all she has to hold on to. Fuck me. Fuck me. You'll meet him someday, and the beautiful tears. I want to meet him now. This sequence is gorgeous. And then she runs and, yeah, moping over, clearly not. Very obvious in the way that she runs, and she does this little like happy bounce. This is some great Yamada style storyboarding and storytelling. Again, the focus on body language throughout this episode, and we see her like tripping over herself to get the fuck out of this conversation, right? Is the way that I see it. She's like literally tripping repeatedly just to get the fuck out of here because it's too much. It's all too much. And we don't get to see the aftermath of it because she doesn't get to experience it. Not until she ends up inside this world. Welcome to today's assignment. Meet this girl. I assumed that this is a birthmark. I thought at first that she was a painter because of the like smock that she's wearing, but I assume that it's just a birthmark. Unknown, but it gives like a coloration, almost a coloration mirror to Rika's pink streak, which is interesting. Regardless, we see Rika with that on. Wait, have I skipped past the no, because we only see the intro to this. We see Sensei and she goes, "You'll be saved too." Gothunk, and then we cut out of there. The dudes at the bar remember her birthday faster than her mom does. Ouch. How old is she? Blah blah. Go ahead and eat your cake. And Rika storms off. And just sits here with her little turtle alone. I love this shot. It's pretty compressing, I would say, because of all of the heavy space up here and like heavy stuff over here. And then Rika doesn't exist in this light. This light is outside of her and still like angled and framing her in an interesting way. I really like this shot. It feels empty, you know? Like her room does not have anything in it except for the essentials, like necessities. I guess she has her bookshelf with stuff on it, but there's nothing on the walls, nothing anywhere. It's kind of rough. And she fiddles with her razor and goes for it. Reflected in the mirror, and it's utterly horrifying. No. Opens her eyes and sees her little turtle staring at her, and she tries to get him to return, right? It's like the dog is watching and you don't want to have sex. You feel dirty. Except that it's this. He looks up at her with these like little loving turtle eyes and he refuses to return. What's crazy here is that she should be able to return, go away, get the fuck out of here. I want to do something without you seeing it. And she puts on this brave smile during it too. Come back. Return. All your worries will go away. Just give up. Just give up. Give up. Throw away everything you have. Throw away all of yourself and your relationships. Tithe them all to the church of this fucking new age spiritualist dickhead, and then kill yourself and just give up. You know, life is hard. Suffering exists. Just give up. It's a lot easier if you just let somebody else take care of you. Or not take care of you, as may be the case. Give up on the real world. Connect to cosmic truth. There are a couple things here. One is the horrifying nature of insidious, semi-religious, spiritualist scam artists, which exist and are horrifying. Yep. There are a number of them, large and small. You can find plenty of fucking yogis and spiritual teachers who will take your money and take everything from you with the promise of some kind of connection to some kind of greater something that will change your lives, who will convince you that all of the flaws and problems in your life are due to some spiritual thing, and that the innate suffering of the universe is not innate, but something that you did in your past and you must atone for by giving them money and paying for their cool house, you know? There are also a significant number of larger scale Christian and other religious organizations that do the identical exact same thing. So give up on reality. Look toward the afterlife. Look toward something beyond. I'm not entirely sure why this guy is syringe built, but he sure is, and he's real scary. Do so, and you will be saved. Shove it, you old creep. And she gets it. Like, she understands that this is a scam, that this is not the way, at least at first. Gives some smacks. All bark and no bite. What have you done? And we get the story. We abandoned our attachments to the physical world. We got rid of everything so that we could connect to the cosmos. You got swindled and then killed yourself. And she recognizes we're all the same. You cut too, don't you? And then something resonates. We're all fixated on worthless appearances and hierarchies. Yeah, we are. Wait a second. That's like true. The haves grow richer. The have-nots grow envious. Oh, yeah, wow, so true. Just because it's true doesn't mean that it's part of a coherent ideology. This is some kind of blah, 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 dismissive. And she grabs her as if you don't cut yourself. Erase yourself instead. Isn't that the same urge? And it is. It is. That will make it easier. We are the same. No, we're not. Focus on your own battles. Okay. It's Mario Party or something like it, right? We're also counting eggs saved down below, right? There's something deeply sinister about the timing of when we see this. Like, we know Akka and Uraraka are watching over, but the timing of when we see them having this as a game and just putting it on pause for a second is in the most, like, critical, pivotal, emotional, dark moment for Rika. There's something really scary about that. These people are playing with the lives of our characters in a sinister way, and I'm intrigued by it. Also the voice actors and the way that they're like, I guess we're gonna lose one. Okay. Don't worry, it won't hurt. And he cuts down her arm, revealing the cuts that she has made herself, as everyone else looks on like, whoa, don't get taken in by this. Don't fall for this, dude. We got you. We're here for you. Come back to us. This world matters. The reality matters. Your tiny self can matter as part of blah, blah, blah. No need for envy or hate. Just connect. Wow, wouldn't connecting be nice? Haven't you already connected? Who is this guy who's talking about this ethereal form of connection when you've got real connections in front of you? Those are what matter. What is all this bullshit? Are you going to let it end? This is a really lovely scene. And what is like me? All Naru can say is pull yourself together, which isn't the most helpful thing, but she's trying. Love you, Naru. Don't be fooled. Say something. Hang on. And what we get is, but I'm fucking tired. I'm suffering. I hurt. I'm exhausted. I don't want to keep going. It would be so much easier to just give up. And we put all of the emphasis in the world, the dark lines, the bright highlights on I want to be saved too. This is a super powerful impulse, and it's a scary one. Rika's been doing a lot of saving of other people. But what we see here, and what we have seen in each Egg Girl's case, is that the desire to be saved is never enough. You have to save yourself too. Even with everybody on the phone going, we love you, come back, you're the best, we care about you. We're here for you, we will support you, we're there. You've got this. That's not enough. You have to want it yourself too. You have to do something to put in the effort as well. Will we lose one? Well, I guess. Hug of life and Manen is the shield. Bam. What a good boy. That fucking turtle, stop interfering. He imprinted on me, so he thinks I'm his mom. I don't like this. And you've got to protect your mom. I mean, great revelation doesn't fit with Rika in this moment. What she needs instead is the realization that she's becoming more like her mom by giving up, right? And she gets that a second later. I think it's a little bit unfortunate that we get both of those, because I don't like this. Now, I like the sentiment. You've got to protect your mom, but it doesn't fit the moment. What fits the moment is the revelation that she has immediately after, which is, I almost turned into a selfish piece of shit mother who would just give up and let this being that has imprinted on me, and myself die, right? There are reasons to take care of yourself, and one of them is so that you can take care of others. My mom taught me one true thing. Men who ask women for money, I also don't like this very much, are all fakes. Fine. And then we get some cool Sakuga. Let's go. Believe what you want, but yeah, who cares? Who cares if he channels the cosmos or scrambles the cosmos, but there's more of a pun built into it. Also, let's just this is super cool. Big boom, big slam. The flying, shooting, throwing a needle through a dude's face is super nice. This cut right here, this is smexy, all on ones, kind of. It's on 1 2 1 2, which is weird, but it's pretty neat. Nyom, as is that. Got a chunk, simple flash to black impact frame. Love it. Horrifying. And then incoming as yoo-hoo! I love the flying around at the speed of sound cuts. They look real good. And we get this moment of genuine joy from Rika as she goes for a shot to the heart, and you're to blame. Because you give love a fucking bad name, you bastard. It's cool. Big explosion, blood explosion. But you're weak too. You cut yourself. Yes, I am weak. That's why I use this to balance so I don't have to ditch things I care about. I don't like this. That's a justification, not a reason. The difference is that you come up with justifications after the fact, and you come up with reasons beforehand. This is a justification for why she cuts herself. This is not why. I cut myself so that I feel okay is not the answer here. I use cutting myself to balance my life out so I don't have to ditch the things I care about is not the answer. I cut myself because I am in pain and it makes me feel the pain that I think I deserve is closer to the answer, usually. But to be fair, people self-harm for all sorts of reasons. I do think that one is around the most common. And this doesn't strike me as a genuine Rika in touch with herself revelation about why she hurts herself. It just doesn't track. What does track is the recognition of her own weakness, and I think that's powerful in a really interesting way. It only works in a certain kind of storytelling to have that kind of my weak. It's not. I hate my weakness is my strength, but I love my weakness is me, and I recognize it, and I can become strong despite it or like incorporating it, because weakness is strength. It's just false. It doesn't make sense. Admitting weakness is strength. Weakness is not strength. Does that make sense? Because we all have weakness and you can be strong despite it. Real hug of life, back in it, everybody's there. Neru's a little bit standoffish, but she hits us with a don't die, which is as good as we're going to get from Neru. Good job, Neru. You did it. You're socializing. You managed it. You said it good. And this, for the first time in the entire episode, this face and voice and way of being from Rika feels genuine. It doesn't feel like fake. Doesn't feel like a mask or a facade or caked on makeup. And there is tension in this scene. Deep tension. Lots of it. But we see a couple things. Second reminder about the cake today, even in her drunken state. But when we look at the cake, you would expect... I mean, it's a 3-layer pancake with some homemade cream on it, right? You'd expect from Rika's mom that she goes to the kombini down the street and buys a shitty cake, right? That's what would like track with the way that Rika's mom acts. It's like, oh shit, I forgot that it's my daughter, blah blah birthday. I'm gonna go fucking get a cake. Here, fuck you, have a cake, right? Eat, stuff your fat face, pig. I'm sorry. This is a homemade cake. Does that mean that her mother gets a Mother of the Year award? Obviously not. But she made her a cake. I bet the cream's all dried out, though. And, of course, that has relevance to aging. It really was the blink of an eye. That's why we go straight into that. Got old before I knew it, talking about her own aging. But she's talking about it because of her daughter's birthday. You're only 40? No, 38. 38 forever. Not entirely sure if she actually is 38 or 40. It's just not, I don't know. 38, and you're right, it is dried out. And there's no, like, it is dried out, but it's still good, right? I'm sure you'll abandon me too, Rika. But not now. Jessica Walker? Holy shit. I just noticed. But not now. Look, this isn't... Wow, we did it. We fixed our relationship, and Rika and her mom get together all the time and hang out and paint each other's nails and talk about cute boys. No, they're not gonna have a stellar relationship, but they are able to sit across from each other and exchange a few words without a fight, which is a lot better than what we saw before. It doesn't mean everything's okay. It doesn't mean that everything is immediately acceptable and strong. It doesn't mean that both of you aren't still suffering and deeply and truly, but it is better. This is a powerful episode. I like a lot of things about it. There are a couple things that don't quite resonate with me, that kind of like dink off. But there aren't enough of them, and they aren't as like crucial enough to the episode that they harm my enjoyment of the episode. Or enjoyment is a word for this. I don't think that I would use enjoyment. Intriguedness? My interest in it, perhaps? I'm gonna skim through it again and see if there's anything in particular that I missed and want to talk about anymore. Because there is a lot in this one, and I feel like I've covered most of what I want to, but just give me a sec to go back through it. I'm also going to see if I can find the voice actor for the evil dude. Joji Nakata. Oh, he's so many people. He is not Yorokobe Shonen, is he? He's not, right? Oh my god, he is! He's Kiriko Tomine. Oh, I thought so. I thought I recognized those bassy tones. Holy shit, he is. That's amazing. Oh, yeah, Detard and so many other people. Wow, okay, that's great. I'm gonna go back to skimming through the thing. I just wanted to check that. That was the only thing I wanted to know staff-wise and cast-wise about this episode, and it is him. Of course it is. Amazing. Okay, back to it. I'll be back to you in a second. Relax and surrender yourself. In many ways, spoilers for Evangelion. If you haven't seen Evangelion or End of Evangelion, don't listen to the next. In fact, just end the video, because it's the last thing that I'm going to say before I wrap up, okay? But I'm going to spoil some Eva stuff, and it's like legit spoiling all of Eva. All right? Cool. It's the same idea here, which is ceding to collectivism in order to avoid individual suffering and individual pain. And it's the difference is that in Evangelion, it's presented to us as a real option, right? Like there really is the chance at collective unity and something beyond the individual. And the choice that is made is the same choice, but in a slightly different context. And it very much is a choice to hurt, right? If you are presented with the choice between giving up your individuality and yourself in order to join some cosmic collective something or other versus continuing to exist in pain in the real world, that's the choice that's being presented here. Relax and surrender yourself. Just give up and connect. Cede reality to this. And Rika chooses not to. And she chooses not to in two places. She chooses not to here, where we talk about her cutting, and talk about her self-harm as, how do I put it? It's a way to control the pain that you feel and to choose your pain in a way. When you feel like the world is hurting you in all these ways that you can't control, being hurt in a way that you can control can be powerful. But Rika's choice, more importantly, is the choice to continue suffering and hope that there might be something beyond that. And she makes that choice there, and she also makes it here at the end, where what she says is, but not now. Not today. I will continue on. And she means it in both contexts. And Rika's mother cannot know how Rika feels and what Rika actually means when she says this, but we do. We know that her saying, I'm not going to abandon you now, I'm not going to take the path that Neru threw out there, right? Which was, you need to make a clean break. You need to get the fuck out. Not now. I'm going to choose to keep suffering here because it might be worth it. There might be a chance. And I'm choosing it. And it hurts me to do so, but I'm choosing it. Ow. Okay. This episode has solidly rocked me. I'm going to wrap and then do editing and stuff. I fully expect to be thinking about this one for the entire week. Um, yeah. Yep. Yep. This one's rough. Okay, we're gonna wrap there. Choose life. Choose life. It hurts like hell, but it's better than non-existence. Yeah. I'm Teeaboo. This has been Wonder Egg Priority Episode 7. I hope you have thoughts about this. If you do, drop them in the comments and I'll read them. See you next week. We're probably gonna skip. We're just gonna skip episode 8 because I know that it's a recap. We're gonna skip to episode 9 next week, so I'll see you there for episode 9. Peace.